G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Wednesday, the 30th of December 2020, and the time here is 0840 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well folks, as they say, plenty to go through, so let's get into it. Here is my sponsor, Totally Rawsome, who make golden activated turmeric paste, happy healing silica, turmeric for pets, and several other items. Now look, I've told you before, if you haven't got this stuff, if you suffer from any joint pain, knee pain, etc., get some of this stuff, folks. It is amazing. The testimonials from people who take it, that I've recommended take it, is just nothing short of amazing. No influence from me, so get some. They ship all around the world if you want some. If you want to find them, here's where you can find them. Markets in the Meadow, Gold Coast Turf Club, every Sunday, 6 till 12. Currumbin Community Markets, Durrigan Street, Currumbin, every Thursday, 7 till 11. And their contact detail is info@totallyrawsome.com.au. Now, I have a surprise for you. I have another sponsor. This is Mother Hen Australia. Mother Hen make amazing food for poultry. I've tried their premium mix, and look folks, I'm not kidding, it is quite simply amazing. And I'm not saying that, I've been using it for the last 2 weeks. Conrad gave me some and I've been using it, and the difference with their food is that it's all made by themselves, so there's no filler, no plump crap in it, nothing. It's just pure food protein. It's 19% protein in it, if not more. This stuff is amazing, folks, and I'm not kidding you. I'll tell you how good it is. I am not even putting I've just been feeding it to my chickens just on their own, and the eggs are harder. I'm not having to put any grit in with it at the moment. They eat everything I give them every single day, unlike my other food that I used to buy, which was supposed to be a high quality food. This stuff is the highest quality you can get, folks, and I've tried them all, believe me. This stuff is amazing. If you want some chicken food, give these guys a ring, and their prices are amazing. That's 4 bags for $105, folks. Okay, now they don't deliver everywhere, so you'll have to ring them and ask them. But I cannot recommend this stuff highly enough. This is amazing food, folks. They've made it themselves. It's all 100% perfect chicken food. So if you want to try some, get hold of them. Now I'm only doing the poultry stuff. They do other stuff as well. If you want to go through it, through the top here and have a look, go for your life. But these guys are amazing, folks. They're a local company. I'm not getting paid to do this. I've found them by chance, and their food is simply, I'll tell you how good it is, right? You can actually taste the difference in the eggs. It's amazing, and I'm not kidding you. I've given it to my friends. We've had a friend staying here with us over Christmas, and we had the old eggs and we went to the new ones, and even she said these eggs are amazing. You can actually smell the difference because there's no chemicals in it. No, it's just simply amazing, folks, and I'm not kidding you. So I'll put the link in the description box. All right, so where are we in the world? Well, everything's gone to shit. That's about it. um, I don't know what everybody, look, I don't know what you're all expecting out of this, but I can tell you that it's not going to be what you want. If you haven't guessed, this is all heading towards Trump and whoever's leading Trump. They're all heading towards this January the 6th, which is where it would appear that they're going to go through Congress and there's going to be this massive shit fight in Congress in the US. Now, you need to pay attention to this because it's actually really important, folks. As I said, we're not going to get through January without some major inflection point. If you haven't guessed, the media is completely biased now. I just don't see how this can work out well anywhere. There's a big part of me that thinks that the Chinese are behind this and they're trying to get the Americans to, bang, revolution, etc. Because I'm going to show you in a minute what the Chinese are doing behind the scenes that you're not paying attention to, which you need to pay attention to. Look, here's what I think is going to happen. They're going to go to the Congress in the US on the 6th. Now, Mike Pence is the kingmaker here. Mike Pence is going to actually throw out those 5 states because of the fact of the voter fraud. And he has the power to do that. He actually has the legislative power to do that. So he's going to throw these 5 states out based on the voter fraud, because here's something that everyone's not paying attention to. If you make a speech on the floor of Parliament, in any Parliament, it becomes registered. So it's actually dictated verbatim. Now, out of that, it can never be erased from history. So I think what you're going to get is these guys that come up for each state, they're one of their Senate people or, whomever, Congress or whoever it is going to make this speech and they're going to outline exactly what the problems are in that state. Because if you haven't guessed, there's no other place for Trump or his what's name to go through in a legal process. So they're going to make the case in Congress that these votes are illegal because of these facts. And they're going to list them all. And then Pence is going to go, well, based on that, you guys can piss off and we're going to put the Trump electors in. I'm going to nominate the Trump electors. The moment they do that, I wouldn't mind betting that the House is going to go into uproar, the Senate's going to go into uproar, and you're going to have people walking out, etc. Because as far as I remember, you've got to get 270. So I'm pretty sure if Pence calls a couple of these states for Trump, even 2, I think, Trump wins. He gets the 270. So you see the play they're doing here. They're leading this down the path to January the 6th. They're not really interested in going to court and everything else. They're going to go to January the 6th, and then Pence is going to turn this on its head. Now, you'd like to think that Pence won't not turn it on its head, because if he doesn't, he's going to be out of a job. So this is getting really tense, folks. Like I said to you, it cannot get past the 6th without some major inflection point. It's actually really scary. You know, these people can say as much as they like, oh, well, you know, we're going to, you know, stand up for our rights, etc., etc., and that's fair enough. But the reality is that this is not going to end well. Now, the second thing is, and I want to show you this. Hang on a sec. This is the US national debt clock. If you look up here in the right-hand corner, and if you go over it, you'll read what it says. The national public debt outstanding represents the face amount or principal amount of marketable and non-marketable securities currently outstanding. Now, if you look down the bottom here, right down here, see these, 1960. This tells you what the debt to GDP ratio is. 52 in 1960, 34.7 in 1980. In the year 2000, it was 55. Look at this. In 20 years, it's gone up to 100 and nearly 30%. Now, these are the figures you need to pay attention to. There is no way out of this now. Oh, and by the way, that 27 trillion is not 27 trillion anymore because they just announced another 2.6, 2.7 trillion, 2.3, who cares? It's over 2 trillion. So that's now $30 trillion. In the next couple of days, that'll be updated to make it $30 trillion. 29, 29 point something. But look, it's 30 trillion. Do you understand what's happening here? The wheels have come off. There's nowhere else to go. They're just printing. This is now, so this $2,000 check to everyone is what they is a classic definition of helicopter money. And look, they could have given you $10,000 each. It doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't matter because they need you to spend that $10,000 to go back into the system so that you actually ignite the system to keep the system going on debt. Here's an interesting fact. If 50% of the population, probably not even that much, but we'll say 50. If 50% of the population get this $2,000 check and just burn it, the whole thing goes into meltdown. That's how serious this is. If 50% of the American population goes, I'm not, you know, I'm patriotic, I'm not going to use this money, it's blowing out the budget. If they torch the check or they send back the money to the US government, the whole thing comes crashing down. Think about that. Now, while we're all sitting here in dreamy dreamland, having our last Christmas together, etc., what do you think the Chinese are doing? Do you want me to tell you? There's these things that keep coming up on the news and they get taken down as soon as they come up. It's really interesting, like especially on ABC. Did you know that over Christmas, the Chinese government commissioned 10 new warships? 10 destroyers or whatever the friggin' hell they were. 10 new warships, put them to sea, and where do you think they went? To the South China Sea. So there's now 10 Chinese warships, plus the other 20, I guess, which are running around there already. Who knows how many there are, plus their subs, etc. So India and Vietnam have joined forces because someone's got to stand up to these clowns. have joined forces and they've sent their warships, I think it's 6, to traverse through the South China Sea. Now, if China's going to blow anyone out of the water, considering that they don't like the Indians anyway, and they have very little respect for Vietnam, what do you think's going to happen? Because I've always said that pretty soon there's going to be, they're going to shoot out, they're going to blast someone out of the water. I actually don't think they've got the balls to do it to an American and Australian ships, but they can get away with it if they do India and Vietnam. So that's going on while we're speaking. I'll show you this. I'll show you something else they're doing. See this one here? Taiwan on the bottom. Taiwan deploys 8 fighter aircraft, 6 warships. So while we're all having Chrissy dinner, the Chinese are actually aggressively targeting Taiwan. And when I mean aggressively, like they're actually just about launching their boats onto the beach. Haven't heard much about it, have you? If you pay attention to the news, because here's what I've realised. The governments around the world, especially the news agencies around the world have to report the news properly, otherwise they get defunded, etc. So they'll report this stuff, then they'll take it straight off. So if you miss it, you miss it. You don't even look for it because you don't even know it's there. Now, the Prime Minister of Taiwan is so worried about this. They're actually asking Australia to get involved now because the Chinese are actually, getting really aggressive. They're not just not getting aggressive, sort of aggressive. They're getting super aggressive. Apart from landing troops on the beach, which I fully predict to happen after January the 6th, say January the 7th or something like that. Once America starts pulling itself to pieces, which is going to happen, there's no two ways about it, unless Trump completely stamps down on everything. That's just not going to happen though, because you've got, these loopy Democrat states that are just going to go AWOL, California, Pennsylvania, all these blue places are just going to go apeshit. Now, whether, and I've said this before, if you're a Republican living in these states, I would be hightailing it out of there, fellas, because you're just going to get yourself into a world of shit soon. Even if there's an inkling that you're a Trump supporter, you are going to go through hell. So that's how bad this is going to get. We can all kid ourselves and say, the Patriots will win and blah, blah. Yeah, they might, but it's not going to be a quick fix. And then what happens when Trump starts arresting these clowns, if he does? And that's not to say that Trump might just walk away from all this and go, it's too much hassle. Because if he hasn't got anybody on his back, apparently he has the military support. If he's got the military support, which I'm guessing he has, because if he didn't, he would have left, he would have conceded and everything by now. He would have got the push. You either go or we'll kill you all or something like that. So he's obviously got the support of the military. Otherwise he wouldn't be pushing for this January 6th thing. So you've literally got 1 week left, 8 days before this all goes to shit. Because the Republicans have already shown they're not going to let Biden be their president. So There's going to be some problems, whatever it is. Not to mention the fact that the budget, their debt level is $30 trillion now. It's gone up. It's gone up from the beginning of this year from 21 to 30. So in actual fact, Trump is one of the is in history now as one of the highest debt presidents in American history. There's no way of getting out of that, regardless of whether it's COVID or whatever. You know, unfortunately, this isn't the 1930s now where we can say to people, well, for the good of the country, everyone has to get out and work. You have to do something for the country, because people are just not going to do that. So helicopter money is the only way to go. And listen, the $2,000 is a pittance, absolute pittance. That's not going to go anywhere anyway. So what they're going to do is once they do, traditionally, once they do one helicopter money, the others follow pretty quickly after. So you're looking at another 2 months from now, 3 months from now, you get another 2 million stimulus. And 3 months from then, another 2 trillion stimulus. Do you understand? It just can't, there's just no way this can stop. Because people seem to think they have a right. A lot of people think they have the right to sit on their ass and do nothing, get paid to do nothing by the government, by the taxpayer. It's okay, they'll foot the bill. Which is another reason why this is all going to go to shit after January the 6th, because people are fed up with it. So, look, if you haven't got your stuff prepared now, and you need to, in the next couple of days, you need to make sure you get down to Coles, Woolies, etc., Walmart, and you get the stuff that your family needs to keep you going for at least 3 months. If you can get chickens, get chickens. If you can get veggie gardens going, get some veggie gardens going. If you can't do any of that, go and buy loads of tin food and pasta and stuff. Rice, pasta, flour. And I haven't said this before, excuse me, but I may have said it. One of the biggest problems you're going to have is water. Because look, what I'm trying to stress here is that don't just think that China is going to go for Taiwan. They are not. If they've got strategically placed cruisers, destroyers, aircraft carriers, they've only got one, I think, but you know what I mean. But if they've got missiles on these South China Seas bases, then they can hit Darwin and Brisbane very easily. Not too sure about anywhere else. Maybe Alice Springs. That's a fair distance. Darwin, yes, definitely. Brisbane, yes, probably. Not 100% sure. But you can at least hit Cairns, which has got a naval base. So this is where we're at, and I hope you all understand that. It sounds doom and gloom, but it's kind of not, as well as if you know what's happening and what's going on. All right, let's do the prayers. Okay, folks, here's the verse of the day. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. And as always, folks, we'll finish with the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory for ever and ever. Amen. All right, folks, I'll leave it there. I hope you guys are getting, more and more prepared every day, because this isn't going to get any better, sadly. All right, God bless. Prep out.